So some of the reasons we need to update the policy all the time is the increasing diversity of the plants and plant products that are coming in, and the insects and other things that can come in with them. It's always changing. Ornamental and traditional food, medicine, herbs, fresh produce, grain pathways are always been something of concern. But now there's also e-commerce, where someone can get a plant of any kind, even pests of any kind, and order them over the internet, and they can come through in a matter of days sometimes. There's also the domestic, where we worry about movement of things like firewood and agricultural machinery. Firewood is a great place for insects to hide under the bark, and you can move them from one area to another, which we've seen quite often. And there's a broad range of stakeholders, and it always seems to be growing, and new technologies. That little piece right, the white speckled piece just to the right of the words new technology, that you may have seen it. They're pieces of paper that are impregnated with seeds, and they can be invasive plants in those seeds. So what you do is you write an invitation on it, then the person takes the invitation, puts it in water, and the things sprout. Some of the examples of things we're doing right now, we're looking at plants for planting, because that's a very high risk pathway. When you put something into the field, into the ground, and something is with it, it can establish more readily than something that might be, for example, the next one, weed seeds in grain. There's a big difference between weeds that might be in corn that's come in for planting, or where it goes right in the ground, or corn that comes in for milling, where it's ground into flour, and whatever's in there is destroyed, any weeds that might be in there. The Asian gypsy moth program, Canadian and joint U.S. Program, to get pre-departure certification for vessels before they arrive here. The major problem is the vessels in several countries overseas, China, Korea, Russia, and Japan, have gypsy moth. The gypsy moth lay their egg masses on the ships while they're loading at night, and the lights are on them. And they come over here and they hatch and they blow off onto our land here. So what we've got with the U.S. is a certification program where the ships are certified before they leave, then they're cleaned and certified free of gypsy moth before they leave, before they get here. So that keeps the risk in those foreign countries before it even gets to our shore. It either keeps it there completely or reduces it immensely. As been mentioned earlier this morning and throughout the day, increased partnership and collaboration is also very important. And this kind of shows you all the interrelations. So up in the upper left, the Canadian stakeholders, there's direct and indirect response. And those are stakeholders, not only the ones that want to bring a risky product here, but they're also the ones that would suffer. So in the case of gypsy moth, it's a lot of products that come in, anything on a ship, but the ones that would suffer would be, for example, the forestry industry, which would be put under, it might affect our export of forestry products outside. CFIA in the bottom, protecting the plant's resource base, verifying that the inspections that were done overseas really worked. Trading partners, getting them, the foreign trading partners, to do the inspections to keep the risk away from Canada before it even gets here. And the shipping industry, of course, they would like to keep as compliant as possible, because it does cost them money when the ships are delayed, etc. Working with partners, we do have a lot of partners that we try and work with. You can see all around the outside, provincial, municipal, other federal departments, trade partners, industry stakeholders.